Nampa School District is at the center of a new complaint filed by the ACLU, and it's a very serious claim, one that points at the discrimination of Latino and Hispanic students. Joe Paris here to detail that complaint, and he also has, well, how Nampa School District is responding to these accusations. Joe?
Well, Brian, just this afternoon, the ACLU filed a complaint with the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, and they did this on behalf of Latino and Hispanic students in the Nampa School District that they say are impacted by discriminatory dress codes and discipline policies in the Nampa School District. So the 19-page complaint highlights what the ACLU believes are violations of Title IV of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And the complaint outlines dress code and gang activity policies in the Nampa School District that the ACLU says are vague and undefined. They add that the policies target Latino and Hispanic students. And the argument is that clothing and other items listed in policy are related to ethnicities and culture, not gangs or illegal activity. An example for you that's in the complaint, we'll take a look at this together. Quote, Nampa School District's gang and gang activity policy states that students cannot wear, possess, use, distribute, or sell any clothing, jewelry, emblem, badge, symbol, sign, or any other item which is evidence of membership in or affiliation with any gang. Well, the complaint continues. Nampa School District policy does not define specific clothing or symbols prohibited, define gang, or how, for example, an article of clothing would be interpreted as evidence of gang affiliation. It also goes on to say that the Nampa School District enforces an informal no rosaries policy as an example, at least in some of its schools, including at Lone Star Middle and South Middle School, which the complaint outlines you don't usually associate rosaries with gangs. And under pseudonyms, these stories of unfair treatment, over-the-top punishments, and hostile environments are described in the complaint. So the claim here is that cultural items and attire are being construed to be strictly gang-related. And that ends up in what the ACLU is calling a discrepancy in discipline practices based on students' heritage. I reached out to the Nampa School District for a response, and they are aware of the complaint and are awaiting advice from legal counsel. But they did share with me their thoughts on the ACLU report on all of this that actually came out a few weeks ago. And they said in response to all of that, quote, the recent report published by the ACLU has brought attention to the complex issue of gang activity and violence in schools. Gangs and their history of violence have posed significant challenges to our district and community for many years. The statement continues, we want to emphasize that at no point have we endorsed or supported any practices that discriminate against any of our students. The Nampa School District continues to strive for excellence for all students, including our Hispanic and Latinx students and families. Bottom line, Brian, the complaint here is calling for an investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division into Nampa School District, and Nampa still waiting for legal advice on this one.
And all this legal action, of course, stems from what happened, I think, back in January, right? When some students are wearing a Brown Pride T-shirts, or several of them wearing Brown Pride T-shirts, a couple of them suspended because of that. And then white power ended up being spray painted on the school walls. This has been going on for quite some time.
Yeah, and that saga that was back in January that you're touching on, certainly a part of this. But as the complaint highlights and students in the Nampa School District highlight, this goes well past this year, going back.
Going further back. All right, thank you very much, Joe.